Hello everybody and welcome to this guide and tutorial for the golden shot. Difficulty level is hard and I'm going to give you 9 shots in how to get a chest in this very tough version of the golden shot. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that already, and also visit golfclashtommy.com for more Golf Clash related content. Last but not least, get the best tournament and tour text guides on patreon.com/golfclashtommy. You can find link in the description down below. And as we go into a new month, there is obviously a big chunk of content just waiting for you there. In this version, we're gonna play hole number 5 from the recent Safari Sunrise tournament, also hole 5 of the Acacia Reserve. This is gonna be a very difficult one because there is so many bumps on the fairway, on the green, that it's so hard to get any consistency. So I would recommend something that I usually don't, and that is if you don't need any berserkers, then play medium version instead. Sure, I will provide you an adjustment that will get you close to the pin and that you will get a chest, but there is so many different spots there that could cause maybe a glitch, or it could cause you to have this just weird bounce if you just over or under adjust slightly, because this is a very technical version. Even if you're not spot on, you're gonna have a very big difficulty in getting the chest that you do want. If you do get a hole-in-one, you can get the obsidian chest. If you do get the yellow ring, you get the amber chest. If you do the red ring, crimson chest is in the books. Aqua chest for the light blue ring, and then we have the cobalt chest for the dark blue ring. We're gonna play with the golden long iron every single time, and that's going to be with tailwind, crosswind, headwind, with everything. And we play that in maximum distance, no elevation whatsoever, 1.85 per ring, which the easiest way is to follow the VPR table on the right hand side, because then you have the wind on the left column, the amount of rings on the right column. So you follow that, and that's going to make it much easier. You can also print out a chart on golfclashtommy.com, or you can follow the beautiful text guide that you can find in the description down below, or on the website, once again, golfclashtommy.com. And we're going to obviously go through the text guide in the end of the video. So let's take a look at the landing position here, and here you're gonna see 2 ones, and the reason for that is that we're going to play a different one when it comes to tailwind compared to crosswind and headwind. And the reason for that is because if we back up more with tailwind, or if we're using the same position with tailwind as we're having crosswind and headwind, we're gonna get the glitch basically every single time. So I had to find 2 different ways, because if we're gonna use the spot that we're using in tailwind, then we're gonna be in between clubs if we shoot in any form of headwind. So very difficult, but that's why we're gonna have 2 different landing positions. So first, crosswind and headwind. What do? We do a no movement. So you're not gonna touch the target until it's time to adjust the ring. So the first thing you do is to add the spin that you're gonna do, and then you adjust the rings and you take your shot. So you're always going to start at the same spot with a no movement, and the spot is gonna be the same every single shot, so that's not gonna change. So we are using that to simplify the landing position, so you don't have to search for a ring by the rough and stuff like that. So all you can start the same and then just apply the spin. If we do have a tailwind, then we're gonna look like this. Then we're going to have to search for, in my opinion, 3 things. We look for the top of the yellow ring by the rough line. We start at the +3 yard mark. Then we can either, as the final step, look at the white ring to be very close to the end of the rough line, or we look for the second bounce to be inside the dark green square, pointing directly at the hole. And that's going to be before you're adding spin. Very important. So don't add spin before you find your position, then you can't look at the ball guideline. So 2 different type of positions, and that's what we're gonna look for when it comes to the videos as well. If you do have more questions about the golden shot, press the question mark on the top right. You get then to the frequently asked questions, and if you do need any assistance, you maybe there's maybe an error that occurs, then you press the contact us button and send in a ticket to the Golf Clash support. So let's take a look at the videos now, and I'm gonna talk you through it, and then we're gonna summarize in the end. So let's go. Shot number one, and shot number one is going to be with tailwind, or like again, you know, tailwind crosswind, and with any form of tailwind we're going to use the tailwind position. So we're using top of the yellow ring by the rough line plus 3 yard mark, and you can see that I'm using 2 bars of backspin, and then we're going to adjust for 6.3, which is 3.4 rings. And you will notice here now with a perfect that we're gonna come short, and that the thing that we do need to have in mind, that when we come short, we do need to remove backspin a little bit so we get more speed, but we also need to try to compensate with a little bit of side spin so we can compensate for that little hill that we're rolling over. And that's one of the things that makes this hole so hard, in my opinion, that we do need to adjust to compensate for that freaking little bump that we do have there on the green, but also before. So there's a lot of stuff that needs to go our way to do well here. Tailwind again, but now we have basically a dead-on straight tailwind, and I'm using the same type of structure here, top of the yellow ring by the rough line, plus 2 bars of backspin, no side spin, adjusting for a 3.8 rings for a 7 miles per hour, as you can see in this chart. And then it's time to hit perfect, and it's very important that we always try to hit perfect, because otherwise the adjustment is gonna be completely worthless. We get that ball to roll down, we get, you know, very close. We would need a little click side spin to the right there to be able to come in on the right side of that little hill, so we're not falling down to the left. Once again, very tough to get any consistency with that, but if we can keep ourselves around the hole, then that's going to be a good way at least to bring home a red chest or a yellow chest for us here. Now we do have a crosswind with a tiny bit of headwind, and now we're using a no movement and using a 0.2 backspin, half a bar of side spin to the right. 5.9 miles per hour is a 3.2 rings. We adjust the 3.2, and then it's time to take our shot. Very important to be centered into the adjustment ring, which is also a key component here. And the ball is gonna bounce on the fairway, and we get, unfortunately, just on the left side, and we just need a little bit more. We still get to have a good speed though, and if the red ring would have been there, we would have been getting the red ring, but we're not really getting it as close as we want to, and let's see if we can't get that further in this guide. Berserker balls as well, and that's what we're looking for when we are playing this one. No movement again, so we're not touching the target at all. We're adding 0.2 top spin and 1.5 bar of a right side spin with or more or less direct headwind. One thing to have in mind when you do playing direct headwind, if you get wind that is above 6 miles per hour, you will most likely go into overpower, just slightly. So you need to have that in mind, that you then need to add a click of overpower, and like once again, just a tiny little bit to compensate for that. So we have that said. 0.2 top spin, 1.5 bar right spin, and we get this ball in a little bit hot though, but again we come into the left, so we do need to once again move ourselves a little bit to the right. So we need to use a little bit more right spin, because there is that little hump that we could really never come away from, and we just need to find a way to come in more right, and the ball to fall down. Now we do have a crosswind together with tailwind, and the tailwind, even though it's minor, pushes us or forces us to play up top, because even with a minor tailwind, you're risking the glitch massively if you back up. And this is the only way I seem to stay away from getting the glitch at all, because if we're gonna play a free shot, even though we might not see, okay, I might not gonna get the hole in one here, but I might gonna get the yellow or red, and a worst case scenario, one of the blue rings, then I don't want to have a glitch and roll out of everything. Super duper close here. and we just sit there on the right side of the cup inside the yellow ring. Good speed though, very good shot, and something we bring with us. Another day that would have dropped, but I will take that obviously all day and every day. Max with no elevation. We get some Apocalypse cards, boom, and then we do have Berserker Ball in the end. Tailwind, crosswind, northeast, the top of the yellow ring by the rough line plus 3 yard mark, and then ball guideline to the hole with the second bounce into that dark green square. Hard to see here on the video though, but you will notice when you play. 1.8 backspin, and we're using a little bit of a side spin to the left to compensate for the wing push is at least the plan. 3.2 rings is what we're going to adjust for. Then it's time to take our shot, and we're gonna see the ball be perfect, and the ball is going to bounce, and it's going to bounce, and you know, that left spin was not needed. The left spin was not needed. But again, you know, it's we're coming in with a good speed all the time. Now it's only the direction, but once again, that little hump there is gonna make the direction be more difficult than what it normally is. But we're gonna continue. We have 3 more shots to go, and we have a crosswind coming left to right, and we do have a direct crosswind when we don't have any tailwind. We'll still continue with no movement. 0.2 backspin, 1 bar of right spin, 6.4 miles per hour is going to be 3.5 rings. And then it's time to obviously take our shot. As you notice here, perfect ball. And the ball is coming in here, bounce, and it bounce. Come on ball, come on ball. Very close, good shot though, like a 0.8 side spin to the right would most likely drop there, but you know, again, you know, good shot on this hole. So backbone cards, we do Sand Lizard, and we do have the Rock, and then we have Guardian, and last but not least some Berserker balls. And you know, we do have a crosswind coming left to right again. This is, you know, on the very edge of getting into a little form of tailwind. And now we're gonna play 0.2 backspin and 0.8 right side spin. And this shot is definitely going to show how inconsistent this par 3 is. We adjust for a 3.2. And the reason I say that it's going to show is like we burn the edge on the right hand side using 1 bar of side spin, and here we come in and you see that the ball turns down left there, very close. So that was with a 0.8. that maybe would have mean that we should place 0.9, just a sliver before 1 side spin to the right there. And you know, let's try it. Let's at least put that in the guide and just go for it. And reason, once again, I say that shows the inconsistency is because we have a different rollout towards the pin. And that's once again the hard part with this one, to get that one to be replicatable. So now we do have a 6.3, we have a headwind together with a little crosswind, like crosswind with a little headwind. I'm using a sliver of backspin, not much, and then 2 bars of side spin to the right. 6.3 gives us 3.4 rings. And for those that may be noticing, I do adjust over the bullseye every single time with my adjustment, and I think that's very important to follow. As for the latest video that I made, the ball bounces and it bounces, and we come in way left here. So here in the end, we definitely need to adapt and tweak that one, which I've done in the guide as well, but that is a difficult wind to adjust for. Okay everyone, then we do have all the videos. No hole-in-one this time, but what does that mean? Does that mean that this guide is crap? No, it does not. But getting the hole-in-one, it's difficult. I would consider this one to be, if not the hardest, but top 2 in the hardest ones we have ever got. So once again, if you don't need any Berserkers, I would recommend to play the medium version instead, because you can still get Tour 7 epics. So you can still unlock the Apocalypse playing the medium version. But in the end, if you follow the steps here and you are focusing on getting the adjustments correct, then you will achieve a good chest on this golden shot. But if you just are slightly off, you're gonna see you getting one of the outer rings. And sure, you're gonna still get a Berserker or 2, but in the end that might not be what you're looking for. That's why I want to be very clear with that, because once again, this is a very tough version of the golden shot. Let's take a look at the text guide. So the text guide we have here, made by Tony Richardson, and now you can see he has changed the logo to be T-Dog instead, and that's what you are searching for here on YouTube. Link to Tony's channel is in the description down below, and Tony makes the text guide based on the info I send to him. And now we're going to take a look at the left side first, the landing position, top left. Then we do have NMT, which means no movement. And in any and all cross or headwinds, use the no move target. Sorry, NMT, no move target, obviously. Not no movement. But you're using that, you're not moving your target once it's your turn, just adapting spin, and then it's time to take your shot. Below that, we have the one that is marked in red, which is in all sorts of tailwind, only in tailwind. And then we start at a plus 3 yard mark, top of the yellow ring by the rough line, before adding spin, ball guide line to the hole. Let's talk about the spin here real quick. We do have in tailwind, we play with northeast, cross and tailwind, 1.8 backspin, 0.2 left spin. Then we come from a northwest, cross and tailwind, 1.8 backspin, 1.5 right spin. Then we have a straight tailwind, we play 2 backspin and 0.5 right spin. Then we go up to the green box there with all the numbers. We go with a crosswind, left to right, 0.2 backspin, 0.9 right side spin. Coming right to left, 0.2 backspin, 2.8 right side spin. And then we have a southeast coming left to right, no top or backspin, just only half a bar of right spin. And then the same thing is what we're gonna do when it comes to right to left. Weird, but yeah, we're gonna do that. Half a bar of right spin, no top, no backspin. In a direct headwind, we play 0.2 top spin is what is going to 0.2 backspin combined with 2.5 bar right spin. It all depends on what type of strength there. You could be good by using top spin as well for that adjustment, but headwind is going to be tough, and you're going to have to use overpower when we do have a direct. So once again, when we do have a direct headwind. So I would have to add there to the guide 0.2 backspin to 0.2 topspin depending on strength, and also if you do need overpower or not. Then we do have the VPR table on the right hand side. You can find it there. You can also print one out yourself on golfclashtommy.com if you do not have the guide with you. So that's the text guide. Find it in the description down below. So once again, everybody, thank you so much for watching this guide for the golden shot with the hard version here. And once again, this is a difficult one. Don't be too hard on yourself if you not manage the hole in one. And please take a look at the medium version as well. Any questions, let me know in the comment section below. I would love to hear how it goes for you. And in the end, thank you so much for watching, and good luck in your Golf Clash game.